I'm sure you're better than you think that you are,
No,
Jenny.
I actually hired a high school student to do a few posts for my business.
That's good though. That's a good solution.
That is a good solution. You know what? We're right
Yeah.
at 1:30. I think we'll get started. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jessica Rorson, and I'm working with the Indigenous Business Development Services program. And I just want to read a land acknowledgement before we get started. So, as we gather here today, we acknowledge that we are on Treaty 6 territory and homeland of the Métis. We pay our respects to the First Nations and Métis ancestors of this place. So thank you very much for joining. Jenny Glessman is just going to say hello from Sage Hill.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jenny Glessman, and I work with the Sage Hill Community Futures Office and the IBDS, the Indigenous Business Development Services. And we've been lucky to be able to bring all of these great workshops and sessions to everybody. And we always seem to find a topic that is very important to business owners, or whether you're starting or you've been in business for a while. It's always something new. And I don't know, when it comes to social media, it's always changing. So I'm excited to have Josie back. She's joined us numerous times to give us her wisdom on social media. And I think today we're going to tackle Instagram. So, Josie, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Great. Thanks, Jenny, so much for the warm welcome. I'm Josie Lachance. I always have a hard time summing up the things that I do, but I like to help businesses with their Instagram, with their Facebook. I do some content creating, I do some website design. So I'm kind of all over the map, but Instagram is actually one of my favorite things to talk about, and I'm happy to chat with you guys about it today. If you want to, feel free to just let me know in the chat if you do have Instagram, and what your business is. I'd love to know those things. I want to see how many people here are already active on Instagram. Um, Other than that, I think I'll get started here. Just give me a second to share my screen. Okay, sorry, there we go.
Yeah, good boy. He didn't bark. Good boy.
All right. Everybody can see my screen now.
Yes, we sure can.
All right. Pop back over there. Okay. So, like I said, I love Instagram. It's one of my favorite platforms to talk about. I consider myself a social media expert, and I provide creative services for small business growth. At any point, if we're talking about this platform and you want to ask a question, you can either do it in the chat or just by unmuting yourselves. I'm just going to pop in here. I see some people have commented. So some people have Instagram and some people don't have Instagram. Seems like kind of all levels of um, Instagram users here. So that's great. We'll tackle quite a bit here today. So a little background, I've been helping small businesses with their social media for over 10 years. So from helping with just like getting people or businesses set up on social media and launching it, and then to helping with the day-to-day activities of just managing the social media. I also provide training for businesses, just training them how to use it, their employees how to use it. And then I also create individual content for businesses to use. So I like that comment. I do not have Instagram or a business yet. Um, so let's just start with the basics of Instagram. And we're just going to kind of just quickly talk about what is Instagram for those who aren't on Instagram, maybe don't know, maybe hesitant. So Instagram is a visual first platform. Its main focus is photos and videos, short videos, mostly known as Reels. Um, Businesses use all of these things. So the images, the reels, the stories, which is another feature of Instagram we'll kind of dive into as we go, to showcase their products, their services, and their brand. And this is a great platform to do that in because it's very, very engaging and it's very, very active. The users who are on there are very active. Like I said, very active because there's a billion active users. And this means that people are potentially on their Instagram multiple times a day. If you think about yourself, if you're on any of these platforms, how many times are you personally checking in on Facebook or Instagram or maybe some other app? So for someone who has a business and who wants to be on Instagram, um, this is a huge benefit because you have people going back to the app multiple times a day. So it offers free business tools as well. So with your business account, when you start up, you can access analytics, or also known as insights. You can just basically create a mini website through this platform. Is basically what it is, just an Instagram profile. But the things that you can do for free are have a button so that people can directly call you, directly email you. You can schedule posts right through this app, and you can run some ads. Anyways, I say for free with an asterisk beside because while it has a lot of free tools for you to use, it does take your time, and that's important to kind of account for when you're thinking about using this platform. And it's designed for discovery. So lots of people are using hashtags or geotags. There's also this thing on the app called the Explore page, which is basically if you're someone who likes construction and you are liking a lot of construction-based things, then those things are going to kind of pop up more on your Explore page. And so that's a big way that people find brands on Instagram or businesses on Instagram. And in fact, actually, kind of an interesting point is that many users discover brands on Instagram before they ever even visit a brand website, or they'll buy things off Instagram without even going to their website. So something to kind of consider when you're thinking about Instagram and is it right for you? This is kind of the overview of what Instagram is. So why does it matter for your business to have Instagram? Well, you're going to get higher user engagement compared to other platforms. Like we said, people are on there multiple times a day. There's a billion active users. There's so many ways for people to connect with you or for you to connect with them through this platform. Because it's such a visual platform, it really helps you showcase all that you have to offer. So just it allows you to be creative and show sort of that other side of your brand that you maybe can't share through your website. It's great for brand building and direct sales. So you can link things on your Instagram. So say if you're someone who is selling products, you can link, say you sell clothing and you have a sweater and you're kind of modeling the fact that you're wearing the sweater, and you can put a direct link for people to purchase the sweater. But not only that, lots of times people will just comment or message, hey, do you have that sweater in store? Can I come get it? So, or what sizes do you have left? Or can you put one aside for me? So really can help with sales. Customers are actively looking for businesses online and kind of expecting them to be active on Instagram. If I think about a lot of the users now and how they're using Instagram, and it's searching, something as simple as I'm closest to Saskatoon, so I'm going to use that as an example. But I hear lots of people using the app to say, like, sort of places to eat in Saskatoon and kind of searching for a restaurant that way, or sort of any type of business that way. And again, it's an affordable marketing channel with organic and paid options. So if you just want to start an Instagram and you don't want to do all of the paid advertising, you definitely don't have to. It's not necessary to make Instagram work for you. There are very organic ways for your business to use it and for it to reach people without having to pay for it. So that's kind of the summary of what Instagram is and why it matters and why you should use it. This is a screenshot of Instagram, just so I can kind of explain. You'll see a whole bunch of screenshots throughout, but just to give the overview of when we're talking about these words like timeline or feed or stories or reels, you kind of know what they are. So this is sort of what your Instagram looks like when you open it up. And you can see there's so many things in here we're going to dive into. But for this purpose right now, this is basically your timeline or your feed. And that's visible to you when you open up the app and basically what you are scrolling through. When people talk about scrolling, that's basically where they're doing it. Stories are at the top there, and they are short videos and photos that are only available to you for 24 hours. And then after that 24 hours, they're archived. So this is great if you have, there's so many ways you can use stories. We're going to dive into that. Then we also have reels, which are video clips strung together, usually with music or some type of voiceover. And they can be anywhere from 10 seconds to 3 minutes long. And then those are permanent, just like a photo that you would post on your feed or on your profile. Then we also have direct messages or DMs, which lots of people refer to it as. But this is a private space where you can connect with people one-on-one. And this is oftentimes where people will message you to say, hey, can I book that appointment? Or can I request a quote? Or can I place an order? So a huge way for you as a business owner to connect with your customers. So something to keep in mind. Then we have the hashtags and geotags, and that's just a way for new people to discover you. So if you are in a small community and you tag, maybe not your business, but say you're in Bruno and you put the location on your post as Bruno, well, anybody who goes onto Instagram and is searching Bruno, all your posts that have the geotag Bruno will show up. So a way that can be used, for example, like when I'm traveling or touring around, I like to sort of go on Instagram and say, Bruno, type it in, see what's all there, see what's happening, and maybe plan some of my activities that way, just based off of what's on Instagram and what's been tagged. And then, of course, you have your business profile tools, and there's so much that we can dive into with what's available. It's a way for you to find out more about your followers and how your posts are performing, to dive into the analytics, all of those things. So many tools. So we'll get into a couple of the tools later here as we're going along. So Instagram is primarily a mobile view, but I'm just showing you here that what it looks like from your desktop. You can use it from your desktop, but it is fairly limited. The desktop, you're mostly using it to maybe like and comment on other people's posts, or it's pretty minimal. It doesn't allow you to access everything that the mobile app does. And so for that purpose, I'm mostly going to be referring to everything through the mobile app. But I did want you to know you can access some of the features of Instagram through your desktop as well. So getting started, you've decided you're going to start an Instagram, or maybe you have one and you want to make sure you've checked all the boxes off and you have a functioning and complete Instagram. So when you're starting your Instagram, one of the important things you need to think about is your account handle. So your account handle is the @ sign and then plus whatever name you have. So say your business is a landscaping business and you want to use that name, so you want to go at that name. And if that's taken, then lots of times what people will do is go at that name with like the town behind it. Um, Pretty simple, but just something to think about. It's not just maybe not just your, yeah, maybe just kind of thinking about it a little bit more, because that's what people are going to see when you like something or when you comment on something. It's going to say at business name liked your post. So it has to be something that people know what it is and maybe where it is, like just kind of building that brand exposure. Um, your biography, you have only 150 characters to make your biography. And I'll just kind of go back quickly here, but your bio is basically this part right here. So this is what people are seeing, and it's pretty minimal, 150 characters. So keep it short and simple. Lots of times people will include their hours in there. They will include sort of where they're located, maybe, like address, what they offer. This can be updated. You can update this as many times as you want every day. So if you have things that change a lot, or maybe you're someone who attends markets in the holiday season, this is a great place for you to just list all your markets that you're going to be at, those kinds of things. It allows you to have a link on your profile. I think maybe even two, actually. So you can do your website. You can, if you have an online shop, you can do that. Or if you're collaborating with someone and they have something posted on their website, you can use that link. So many different options for links. Again, the important things are to make sure you include your storefront address if you have one. And if you are not a storefront, you're online. How do people find you? Maybe specify that. And any information around that would be helpful, because you don't want people to not be able to find you or figure out how they can, get in touch with you. The contact information, of course, very important. All the ways you want people to connect with you from Instagram. And I'll show you some examples as we go, but if you put in your phone number and then I were to go to your profile and hit contact, well, your phone number is going to show up and I can click that and directly phone you right from Instagram. So I don't have to remember your phone number and then try to type it in, it cuts out all of that. It's a direct, I can call you. And then your profile picture, last but not least, very important. This is how people are recognizing you. So along with your account handle and your profile picture, those are the ones that people are seeing when they're on Instagram. They see your little photo pop up if you like something. They see your little photo if you comment on something. They see your little photo in their direct messages. They see your photo in the stories. So creating something recognizable that ties it to your brand is something you really want to consider. If you are if you sell quilts, maybe having a photo of your quilts that you sell is not really a great idea, because that could be anybody, that could be anywhere. So do you have a logo? Do you have a picture of your storefront that's going to help people recognize you a bit more? So kind of thinking a little bit more creative. So a logo is usually the one that people will gear towards, because most people use their logo in all of their marketing. They have it everywhere. So that's a recognizable profile photo. So we're just kind of seeing here, do they have everything that they need? So we have a complete bio here. It's it's engaging. It's got emojis. It's to the point. It's telling you what they do. They have their location here. They have a link, and this link here is to a Google page. So to review their business online, you can just click directly here. You could also have your website link here or anything else important. And the contact button. So like I said, when you click this button, all forms of contact information that you would have plugged into your profile when you're setting it up will pop up. So for this business, for example, they have their phone number and their email, and I can phone or email them instantly from clicking that button. And that's a really great call to action to have as a business, so that people can instantly get in touch with you. Gonna keep going here. So we kind of talked about why does Instagram matter. The other part to think about is what is your purpose for using business, or what is your purpose as a business to use Instagram? Is it to sell products? Is it to create brand awareness? Or is it to connect with new and existing customers? These are all things that you want to think about going forward, because that's going to kind of help you to like generate your content that you're putting out there. And if something like connecting with new and existing customers is really important and really the main reason why you are using Instagram, well, then that means, kind of carving out time in your schedule to be present on Instagram, to be replying to the comments, to be getting back to those DMs, to be commenting on other businesses or other people's content. So, really thinking about what is the purpose that you're using Instagram for? How is this going to help you as a business? So, things to keep in mind as we go forward. I will probably bring this up a lot, but consistency is key with Instagram. Use images that you have that resemble your brand, that are recognizable, that people are going to see it and they're going to know eventually as you build your profile. They're going to know, hey, that's that landscaping companies, or that's that lumberyards photo, or that's that clothing shop down the way. I recognize that because they always use that back wall, which is really unique wall in their shop. And if you can, using less stock photos, sort of engaging with your stories a lot, those are ways that people will realize that it's you and it's a little bit more authentic. Helps to create the engaging content. And so you want to give people a reason to follow you. Basically, there's so many profiles on Instagram. How can you set yourself apart that makes people want to follow you, want to look for your stories when they don't see it pop up? Or, quality over quantity. It doesn't mean you have to post every day, or I don't know, create a whole bunch of content that doesn't make sense just to post. People will notice the quality over the quantity. Something really, really important to focus on. And as a small business owner, I think we always forget that we are the brand of our business. And so remember to be yourself on these platforms, because people are interested in more than just the products and the services and everything that you have to offer. They are interested in you. They want to see what you're doing, how you're managing your business, what you're up to. So sometimes I think it's really important, because we do forget that as small business owners. We are the brand of our business. So think about that a little bit when you're thinking about your brand and what your Instagram looks like. How can you incorporate those elements? Okay, so diving into the Instagram platform, how can we break it down? Or we are going to break it down here so that everybody kind of understands a bit more about Instagram. So you've just opened up the Instagram app. This is what you're going to see here. And that's on the left-hand side, this image over here. This is where all your posts and your stories will show up. And it's going to be from everyone that you follow. So every business, every individual, this is where you're going to see it all. So I'm going to break down all the components of the page a little bit more. But this is, basically this is what you see. So if we break down that main feed, this is what it looks like. So we are here right at the top, we've got follow and comment notifications. So you can see here, there's a heart with a 3. That means I had 3 people liked something of mine. And then we have the little person icon with 4 beside it. That means 4 people have started following me. So it's giving me that notification. And I can go and click that heart, and then it'll show me all of those notifications and what people commented, or sorry, what people liked. And so that's where all of those interactions will happen. keep going down here on the right-hand side, this strip here, this is referred to as stories. So all of these people, they have their sort of profile picture is lit up and in a circle here. And I could keep scrolling like through this list, and this is where all the stories are going to be. Once you watch it, it basically disappears from this list. So this person here, Common Ground, if I watch their story and I want to go back and watch it again later, I'm most likely going to have to go to their profile and find it. But yeah, these are the short little snippets that you can interact with, see what people are up to. Again, not a permanent place to post, so things don't stay there forever. Then we've got this here. This is a timeline post. So we have one up here from Sage Hill. And so basically you can see this whole section right there is their post. And if I were to scroll down the next one, you can just barely kind of see it down here. It's going to be Squarespace, and that's going to be another one. And then I can keep scrolling and seeing more of those things. I'm going to jump over here. So yeah, the post information that we're seeing, again, you can see here, we know that this is Community Futures because there's their logo. We recognize that logo from anywhere. So, using the logo, that makes it recognizable. So I know it's Community Futures, and then it's saying Sage Hill. So I know this is Community Futures Sage Hill just by their profile photo and their, what's it called? Blanking on it now, but their username basically. Then they've got their photo here. They've posted a photo which they've created. And then down here at the bottom, it shows you their caption. Not the whole thing because I'd have to click more to read the whole thing. And then it shows you that 2 people have liked it. This would show you if there was any comments. And if I wanted to reshare this to my story, I can do that. If I want to send this via direct message to someone, that's how I would do it. Or if I wanted to save this post to come back to it later, you can do it there. And then, of course, at the bottom is this bar that would basically stay there the whole time you're scrolling. It's got your home, so back to your main view of your timeline. And then this button here, sorry, I have the hiccups. This button here with the little play sign, that's for you to just basically scroll through reels and explore things of interest. And then we have the direct message here. You can see we have 2 messages in our DMs. And then the next button over here is the search bar. So you can go in there, search anything. Like I said, you're heading to Bruno, want to see what's happening there, search Bruno. If you are looking for a restaurant or a coffee shop or something, that's a good way to look it up. Of course, this is only going to show you the people that are on Instagram or people who have posted something at that business and tagged that business. And then at the bottom, you have your profile. So you click there to go to your profile, which I think is the next slide. So this is how people will see your profile. You go to visit another business on Instagram. This is what you're seeing. This is what people are going to see of your profile. They're going to see your image, your name, your posts, how many people are following you, your bio, your call to action buttons, and then they're going to see this here, which is basically all the things that you've uploaded to your profile. So on your profile, you'll notice, actually here, I'm just going to peek back for a second. So you'll see here that there's all these little icons on these photos. So those all mean something different. So if it has the icon with the play button, that means that it's a reel. If it has the 2 squares, kind of like shows that there's multiple, that is a carousel of images. So that's kind of how you know the difference. Those are basically the only 2 options. If you just posted one photo, then there would just be like here, there's no icon or square there. So it just shows that's one photo. This is helpful if you're someone if you're looking for a specific reel or specific carousel. I don't know. It's just kind of a feature that Instagram has to kind of keep things separate from what's a video and what's a photo. Okay, so I have a whole bunch of examples here of what other businesses are doing on their profile. And so this is just a good way for you to kind of get an understanding of what businesses are doing, how they're using their Instagram, what they're posting, and kind of give you an idea of maybe what you can be posting or just inspire you a little bit. Um, so it's a whole bunch of wide variety of Instagrams that I took a snapshot that had unique things on their profile or things that I liked, or maybe even mostly complete bios, I guess, or complete profiles. And there's a huge variance. You'll see here, we have Sage Hills. We can see all of their information. We know where they are. We've got their website, and we can see all of their recent posts. This is another place here in the middle. This is the Station Art Center in Rosthern. And this was a good example because, again, they've got like a catchy, engaging bio. It's got their hours in there. So I know exactly when I can go there. And they've got a mix of content. They've got some reels, they've got some carousels. So they've got like the real photos as well as the mix of the created photos on something like maybe Canva. So I like just showing the variance of what you can do. Also, this one here, you can see it says stationarts.com where the link is, and they have 2 more links. So that's because if you actually click that, you'll get the link to their website, or you'll get the link to their 50/50 raffle tickets that they're selling online. And then you'll actually get the link to I think it's the most recent concert that they're selling tickets to. So that's a really good way to utilize your link feature is if you are selling tickets, put that link in there. So when people click the link, they don't have to go to your website and then find the page that has all the information and then click the link or the next page to like get the tickets. This will just one shot right there, get them to the tickets, no hesitation of buying. They don't have to go through all the steps. Simple. And then we have this coffee shop. Again, they've got their hours here. They have this thing here, which you'll see under these buttons. It says hours and menu. And so this is something that you can do on your profile sort of once you start posting, once you kind of post into your stories, I should say. You can create these little highlight buttons, and these live on your profile permanently. So while the stories are only 24 hours and they are in your archive, you can actually take anything in your story archive and add it to a highlight, and then that will stay on your page. So say you posted about your holiday hours on your story, and then you realized, hey, actually, I want to keep that. I want to make like a holiday highlight on my profile. So I'm going to save that to my story highlight, and then I'm going to add all the things that I'm doing for the holiday. So whether I'm collaborating with someone, whether we're offering like a promotion where we're teaming up to offer this really great holiday promotion, right? Those types of things. Then you can see all of their content is basically just user generated. They've taken all the pictures and they're posting it. So we've got like kind of a wide variety here of using how people are using Instagram. So there is really no right or wrong way to do it. It's what works for you and what you're capable of with the time that you are able to put into this platform.
Josie, we just have a question here.
Oh, yeah.
Shelley just asked, how can I access my story archive?
Good point. Let me just go back. And I'll come back. Okay, so I'm gonna just do this here. So down here where you've got your profile button, you click on there And then what's going to happen is you're going to be brought to your page of your profile and what that looks like, which will be very similar to this image we're seeing here, except it'll say like edit bio or, those types of things. And you can't see it here because I have cut, like I didn't include that part. But at the top up here, can you see my cursor? Um, there would be three little dots, and you would click that. And I'm just going to make sure I have the exact right information, or there'll be three lines. And then you click that, and then you hit archive. And then it'll show you all of your archives. So I don't know if you guys can see. It's always hard with Instagram because it's primarily a mobile platform. But then here's all of my story archives. So I can go back and look at everything that I posted on my stories. So you get there through your profile. That makes sense? And those three little buttons on the three little lines button on the side. Okay, pop back over here. So again, here's some more examples of profiles. These, again, everything is so different. We've got a combination of user-generated content here where people are just taking the photos and posting it themselves. We've got where they've created either in like a Word document or they've created it in Canva or something like that. So a wide variety, and you can see here all of these customers or all of these businesses are using their story highlights. Something that is a really good thing that you could use it for is customer reviews. So as your reviews come in, you're posting them to the story, then you're saving them to your highlight. Yeah, really good way to do that. You can see here they have reviews. Looks like they have different tattoo artists, so they're kind of saving them they created the highlights based on the artist, which I think is a really good idea. Yeah, so again, so many different types of businesses, but all available, very active online. You can see the ones on the left here, the middle and the left, they have stories because their profile picture is lit up, so you can see that they have story. You can click it and watch it from here as well as from your home timeline where we saw the banner of stories. So again, this can go in so many different directions. Here in the middle and on the right, we have people who created specific cover images for their story highlights. So that's something that you can do and add. The story highlight will give you the option to upload like a specific cover photo. It's great if you're someone who is really into your brand and you have like colors and you have just sort of specific things. You can go on to Canva and create, which is what Pash Collective has done here. She went into what I assume would be Canva and then made these little cover images so that her Instagram kind of fit her brand. Yeah, so we've just kind of got a variety here. This is where you see someone really actively using their bio, which I love seeing people update this. So she's posted where she's going to be, what markets she's going to be at. I think that's a really good use of your Instagram, especially if you are someone who's traveling a lot and that's how maybe you don't have a storefront where people can access you. Hey, this is where I'm popping up. So it can always be found instead of just a post on the timeline. So again, we've got a variety of things. One thing I actually didn't mention, which is just coming up to me now, you'll see on this Instagram profile for Rosthern Junior College, they actually have an icon with a pin. If you see that right there, this one, it has a pin. And so basically what they've done is that's like probably their promotional video that they have to advertise their school. And so they went and pinned that. So every time they post, it doesn't get lost and pushed down the feed because that can happen, right? Like as soon as it's down there, I'm not going to probably be able to find that exact video. Lots of people will use that for if their store hours change often, like you can pin that there and it will stay there no matter how many times you post. It's not going to get pushed down. It's just going to stay in that spot. And I think you can pin up to 3 things. So you can basically have your first row of your profile pinned. So again, really important if you have just information you want people to see and to know that's, permanent maybe. Yeah. So that's what other businesses are doing on their profiles. Do we have any questions before we jump into the next part? I'm just checking here. Awesome. Okay.
Where do we find the button that will create a pin?
Okay, good one. Let me just go back here. So when you're on your Instagram and you're on the post, just trying to see if you'll be able to see this. So here, if this is your profile, let's say we're using Pash Collective. We've got this one here with the clothing. If this is my profile, I'm going to click on this photo specifically. And then what's going to happen is once you've clicked it, it's going to take up your entire screen. And then there's going to be 3 dots in the corner. And you click the 3 dots and then it says pin to main grid. So then you can just select that and then it pins it and it's done. And you can go back to your profile, see that it's been pinned. And basically the same way that you pinned it is the same way that you would unpin it. So yeah, good answer to that question. I'm just looking at the chat here. So about the personal versus business account. So I absolutely recommend having a business account because it opens you the doors up to all of these things that you don't have access to on your personal account or on a personal account. Also, sometimes people will have a personal account already and then just kind of transfer it into a business account. Which I don't always recommend either because it's nice that you have your personal account and then you can sort of use it to promote your business account to people who follow you. And there's just so much more available to you when you use the business account. So that is my suggestion of, I'll rephrase, can we only have a business account or do we need, oh, I see. No, you don't need a personal business account or you don't need a personal account to start up a business one. And I was also just answering, there was another question here. I currently use Instagram for personal use, but we are working on a business. So what happens is, like, if you have a personal account on Instagram, you can actually just connect your accounts. I don't know if you can see this from here, but I'll try. So here's my personal account, and at the top, I can click my username, and then all the accounts that I manage are underneath there. So I can easily click one, and then now I'm interacting as this profile. So they've made it really user-friendly to have your personal profile and then also create your business profile and be able to kind of toggle back and forth between the two without logging out and logging in and creating that. So I'm just going to keep moving on to stories, but please keep popping the questions in. I love these questions. These are great. Now that we've kind of talked about your business profile and what that looks like and how to create that, and now we're going to just move into the stories. This is a huge feature on Instagram that businesses are utilizing and people are really loving. Lots of times, how we talked about people going back in multiple times to their app every day. I'm sitting here, I check it, however many times I'm checking Instagram. Well, I'm going back because businesses or people are constantly posting in their story. So there's always new stories to check. And so it's really great from the business perspective because you can use it to show here we've got showing new stock. Hey, we just had a restock. These are the sizes. This is how much it costs. we're going to give you a promotional code, or we're offering a discount, shop here. People have clicked, basically added their link in, so people can just click it, go right there, get their 20% or their 10% off. A really great way to use the stories features as a business. Again, here, this lady, or this business, I shouldn't say lady, is going to a market. So she's basically advertising again for the market, and saying, this is where I'm going to be. The thing that's interesting about her post that's different than the other three over here, this one you'll see has kind of like a post within the story. So basically, she has taken the original market planning Instagram's post and then reshared it to her story. So that's a really great way to use stories, is just to reshare content from other people. If you are maybe your hair salon and you use a lot of products from a certain brand and their brand is really active on Instagram, well, you can always be resharing their content onto your stories so that people can kind of just see. And it's kind of, it's easy. There's so many positives about resharing the content, but it's easy. It's not as time consuming if you're already following these brands. And it keeps you active. It keeps your profile active online. So, okay. So again, more examples of how people are using their stories. They're posting their new products. They're posting links. Yeah, I'm going to kind of zoom because I'm talking a lot and I don't want to run out of time. So again, just different ways that people can use your story. And so you can always be creative through the story outlet, and be posting in there. And if you post it in your story every day, but hardly ever post it to your feed, that's okay. That's, you're still being active on Instagram. I'm just checking. Okay, so there's a question. If we reshare from one of our brands, if people click on it, does it link them to the brand or to our store? So if you're resharing the post, if people click the image within your story that's from the other brand, like say I shared something from IBDS's Instagram. If people click the image in that story, it's going to then bring them to the IBDS Instagram. But say if you're sharing a product like a hairspray or something, you could put the link with that post and say, hey, purchase this hairspray here, and then put the link to your website where you have your products listed. So again, just more ideas. If you're someone who offers services, hey, this is when we're available this week. Everybody that I talk to that offers that, like through social media, through their stories, often have all of their appointments taken up by the end of the week. So as simple as saying, hey, I have these appointments available, and people will DM and book them. So lots of ways you can use it. So we're talking about stories here. And how do you create them? And what can you do with them? So because it's a little bit difficult to, I can't show you, we've tried this before where we tried to like hook up my phone and it was made it really complicated. So I chose not to go that route today. But basically here, when you're going and putting, like creating your story, these are all the things that will pop up that you can kind of add to your story. So say you're just selecting an image you already have. Well, you can go and add anything to it. So here you can see they've added a question box. So ask me everything you want to know about whatever. Or here, this is like Happy Tuesday. These are our hours. And this little button that's been added, you can simply just click it and people interact. You see that they've interacted. It's just a way to get people to interact with your stories and with your profile to kind of boost you up in the algorithm. So I can't quite show you how to create a story or a post, but it's pretty straightforward on the app. When you go to that little plus sign, it says, hey, story, post, reel, and then you can kind of click them and you can kind of work through the options that they give you. But it's pretty straightforward to making that. The reel would be the most complicated one, but if you started with your stories and your posts and get familiar with that, then jumping into the reels would be easier that way. Okay, so hopping over to the analytics. I'll try not to spend too much time talking about this because I know not everybody is into the analytics. But this is something that is available to you through your business profile. So if you're someone who cares about the back end, like the numbers and like and you're wondering like, are my posts working? This is where you're going to find that information. So again, all of these things are available to you through the insights and the analytics through your profile. The awareness metrics. So basically, how many people are you reaching? So it will tell you the number of unique accounts that saw your posts. It will show how far your content spreads. And that's important because it indicates that your brand is visible and that your reach is growing, and so is your awareness. So reach is important for that reason. We've got impressions, which is the total number of times your content was viewed. And so that includes repeat views. So this will just show you that your post is appearing in people's feeds. If your impressions are low, that probably means that your content, people maybe didn't resonate with it, and it's not getting seen. It's not appearing in people's feeds. And then we have profile visits. So how many people visited your Instagram profile after seeing a post? And so that's important because that's a sign that your content is interesting enough that people want to learn more. So I saw you post about the honey you're selling, and now I've now went to your profile to check out to see where you are, to see how I can purchase it, etc., etc. You also have engagement metrics, which is also known as how people are interacting with your content. So are they liking it? Are they commenting? Are they sharing it? Are they saving it? The higher engagement signals to Instagram that your content is valuable, which means it'll reach more people. So that's why when you see things on your Instagram and you like them, like actually just like the content you're seeing, it's important for you to like the content so that it will keep showing up and that it will keep because sometimes if you just are scrolling and you kind of forget to like the images, then it won't show up as much for you. And then we have engagement rate. So that measures how engaged your audience is relative to your follower count or reach. And so again, it shows the quality content and audience interested. There's so much you can dive into, and I don't want this to be overwhelming, but I want you to know that this is a really big part of having a business account on Instagram and learning to understand even just a little bit of this back end or like the analytics will help you to sort of create your content and make sure you're spending the time in the right area and that you're reaching the people you want to be reaching. Because lots of times people just put the content out there and then never go back to see if it's really working. They'll say, oh, people didn't like it, or something like that. Well, what was wrong with it? You're spending all of this time creating content and putting time into being on this platform. You want it to be working in the best way that you can. So kind of just trying to understand a little bit of this will help you in the long run. It's not necessary. Like you can totally use Instagram without looking at the analytics at all. But if you really want to make sure that you're using your time wisely and valuing your time, this is a good thing that you can do to just understand Instagram and your followers and your content. So yeah, it'll also tell you who's following you, the age. It'll tell you the demographic, or sorry, the gender, location, and the hours that people are active, which is really helpful so that when you schedule your content for your Instagram page, you can say, hey, the active hours are between 7 and 9 a.m. and then like 12 and 1 p.m. and then 7 to 9 p.m. I'm going to schedule my content in those hours because that's when everyone's the most active. So, lots of things you can do. The conversation metrics are basically just about are people taking action? Are they visiting your website? Are they clicking those links? Are they pushing those call to action buttons? Is your content is your content generating those things for you? Was that important? Because if it was important for you to get people to go to your website and people aren't doing that, well, what can you shift to make that happen? I realize we're getting short on time. So I'm just going to, we kind of talked about some of this. I'll quickly talk about the algorithm because that's always referenced about the algorithm and not everybody understands the algorithm. Truthfully, I don't think anybody can understand the algorithm because it's changing all the time. But your reach is influenced by the engagement that you're doing on your profile, how consistent you are, if you're being relevant. Are your videos too long? Are people watching them? Like, are they the right length? Are people saving and sharing your images? And are you having authentic interaction? So that's a huge part of being on Instagram is, are you responding to the comments? Are you responding to your DMs? Because if you're not, then your engagement's going to go way down and your posts aren't going to get seen as much. So we're right at the end. I have a couple bonus tips basically to just make it easier for you when you're using Instagram. These are a couple things that you can do. You can use Canva to help you sort of design some templates. So whether that's for your hours, whatever it is, using Meta Planner. So if you have Facebook for your business and you want to link them together, that's another thing that you can do that's really helpful. But you can schedule right through the Instagram app. And sorry, these hiccups this whole time. All of these are super helpful. But if you're going to take anything from here, I would say mostly using Canva, the planner, and if you need some help sort of generating some captions that are a little bit more engaging, you can always try ChatGPT, but using kind of your mind and being creative that way is always better than using ChatGPT. So tips for your Instagram to be successful, I would say, are to batch create content. So kind of sit down, plan out your content, use the schedule feature, put that all together as one task and schedule that into your day and say, hey, I'm going to take a whole bunch of photos of all of these things. I'm going to schedule them. And especially maybe on the nights you're open late, or if you're running a sale, or if you are doing a specific type of event, any type of thing like that. If you have employees, this is something that they can easily join into. So get them to take some photos while they're working. Maybe you have like an old phone kicking around at home they can use to just kind of be creating content while they're at work. Kind of helps you and keep your content together and accessible. So whether you have it in a folder on your phone or a folder on Google Drive or whatever it is, so that you always have a place to go to find your content. And lastly, but not least, quick wins for you as a small business owner. If you post 2 to 3 times a week and you're using Reels for reach, which is something you can grow into once you get more comfortable with the platform. But updating your bio and having a call to action button, consistent branding, replying to those comments. I know I've said all of these things a million times, but they're very important to reply to the comments that come in. And after all, you are posting to kind of engage with them. So showing that you are engaging back. And another thing you can do is share behind the scenes what you're doing while you're prepping for a market or while you're getting I don't know, getting ready for opening those kinds of things. So again, it's a creative platform. It's meant to be fun, but also super helpful business tool. And just remember to schedule time into your workday so you can manage the social media. And yeah, I will stop sharing my screen.
We do have another question. It says, what are your thoughts on using templates when making reels?
Oh yeah, for sure. Templates are great. Especially if you're starting. It's a really great way to just punch in the content that you have. So say you have a couple short videos and you just put it in. Also, Instagram does this really cool thing where if you have a couple video snippets, so say you have some products and you kind of go like this and take a couple videos of each product. Well, you have these 5 to 7 second clips of each product, and then you put them together in a reel, and Instagram will just add the music in there for you and kind of time it up for you. And especially as a beginner, being on Instagram, I think that's just a really great way to get comfortable with making reels. And then you can kind of say, oh, hey, like eventually your brain will go, oh, hey, the timing was off and I would have liked that one photo to be a little bit longer. Well, that's something you can think about going forward next time and grow that way. It's not something you have to just figure out and be perfect at the beginning. Plus, the platform is always changing. So there's that aspect too. But I'm not against using templates, and I think whatever you can use to make it easier for you to function on that app will be good for your business in the long run. Sorry, I feel like I talked so fast because I was running out of time and I had so much. I probably could have talked for so much longer, but are there any other questions?
Oh, I see a hand up. Go ahead, Susan.
Yeah, hi. Sorry, I was a little bit late, 10 minutes or so. Will we get a copy of this video or this
Yes.
recording?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
It will be
absolutely.
sent out. It will be sent out to everybody, and it also will be housed on the Sage Hills website on our YouTube channel. We save all the videos there, so then you can watch them because we know entrepreneurs are busy. And sometimes the only time you have time is at 10 o'clock at night, unfortunately. So then you can rewatch it then.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
When I send out the link to this, I'll include the YouTube link as well. Wonderful. Thanks, Josie. That was great. There's a lot of
Awesome.
information. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. All the
Awesome as
time.
always. And
Yeah.
yeah, you gave us such a great insight.
Thanks. I definitely had a lot packed in there and I thought I could do it. And I just too
You
much
did it.
talking.
No,
You did
but you
it.
did it.
But we
Thanks
know
so much
maybe
for coming, everyone.
yes, thanks for joining us. And our next one now isn't till January. We take a bit of a break. January is Social Media 101, I believe is what it is. So we take our break now over December so that everybody can get ready for the holiday season.
Yeah.
So
And
have a
perfect.
great, thanks everybody and have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Very much.